The regular school board meeting of District 518 on September 20th, 2022 will come to order. Let the minutes reflect all school board members are present except for Tom Prenz. Thank you to everyone that's here this afternoon, tonight, and to those that are viewing social media live streaming. Thank you for your participation. Under public participation, there's no requests. Under recognitions of students, staff, and community, I have a couple of things. First, thank you to American Lutheran Church for bringing snacks and baked goods to the staff at the new intermediate school. They are also working with the Every Meal for Kids program. Thank you, American Lutheran Church. And also to JBS, who stopped at each of our school buildings and donated school supplies for our students and staff to use. Each year, they have a summer event in which school supplies are handed out to their workers' families to use for the upcoming year. We appreciate these generous donations each year. Thank you for your support, JBS. Okay, and the next item is approval of the agenda. Under the main agenda, we have one addition, and that will be number 5.11. And it will be the approval of 2 student-teacher agreements with the University of Minnesota and American College. So if you'd add that to your main agenda under 5.11. With that, I'll entertain a motion for approval of both the consent and main agenda.
I so move.
Okay, we have a motion by Joel. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Mike. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Next is approval of the minutes. 3.1, the August 16th, 2022 school board meeting minutes, and also to accept the committee meeting minutes as included in your packet. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So move, Steve.
Motion by Steve, second.
Second.
Second by Adam. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Next, 4.0 is the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the items under the consent agenda?
So moved.
Motion by Adam,
Second.
second by Mike. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Next item is the main agenda, 5.1, the monthly financial overview. Dave?
You should have the revenues and expenditures report through the end of August, so we're a couple months into our year, just getting started in the school year. Revenues are running at 14.5%, just slightly below where we were at this time last year. And the expenditures are at 8.36%, which right where we were at this time last year. There haven't been any unusual or extraordinary revenues or expenditures at this point. And I think we're off to a good year.
Okay, thanks, Dave. Do we have any questions on the revenues or expenditure side? Okay, moving on, then the next item is 5.2, approve the tax abatement request for the Woodland Court addition. And that was the meeting we just had.
So move the approval of the abatement.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mike, and we have a second by Brad. Any discussion? Okay, this is a roll call vote.
Ms. Dudley,
Aye.
Mr. Lorenz.
Aye.
Mr. Harbers,
Aye.
Mr. Bloom,
Aye.
Mr. Schneider,
Aye.
Mr. Schaefer.
Aye.
Motion passes. 5.3 is the action on the school, the reading of policy number 524, Internet Acceptable Use, Safety, and Data Privacy Policy. Do I have a motion on the second reading of that policy?
So move, Steve.
Motion by Steve and second by Joel. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. The next item is 5.4, the JBS Fieldhouse Agreement. The Operations Committee looked at this, and my notes have it that the agreement would be from 3 o'clock to 5:30 Monday through Thursday, from September 12th through November 8th. So, and that's cost-free.
And no rent.
And so it's no rent.
And that's exclusive use. Correct.
for half of the
For
facility.
half the facility.
Okay, do I have a motion to, for that agreement?
What was the time period again?
From September 12th through November 8th is what I have from the operations.
The fall sports
The
season.
fall season, okay.
Okay. Do you have a motion?
I so move.
Okay, we have a motion by Joel. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Adam. Any discussion?
So which teams are going to use that, or is that going to be a team thing, or how are we going to determine the usage of that?
Yeah, it would be a team usage, so if the football team, if there happened to be bad weather and they wanted to practice indoors, they could practice there, or any of our fall sports programs.
So who's going to make the decision on which team gets to use that?
The athletic director and the manager of JBS.
Thank you.
And there will also be a coach there with the team
Correct.
members. Okay.
With that fall time frame, I'm expecting or looking forward to possibly some other future dates with other seasons.
I'm assuming, yes, they'll do this by season, so,
So we'll see similar agreements
yeah.
in the future.
At some
Did
point,
one for the spring season last year. Was our first contract.
Any other questions? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. The next item is approve the first reading of policy 726, the unmanned aerial vehicle drone policy. Do I have a motion for approval of that reading?
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion by Adam,
Second.
second by Joel. Any discussion? No discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Next item is 5.6, approve the resolution requesting the Minnesota Department of Transportation, MDOT, assistance in enhancing safety along County State Aid Highway 10 within Worthington, Minnesota, and Nobles County. Do I have a motion for that resolution?
So moved, Steve.
We have a motion by Steve, and we have a second by Joel. Any discussion? You want to update on
Yeah,
that one, John?
I'm all for this, but do we really think we're going to change the minds of them up there? I mean, they're the ones who think it's okay to go 45 miles an hour in that zone. Are they really going to make any kind of a change? I want to do this, and I'm all for it, but I question whether they're even going to listen.
I think already they have something planned for in October, but I think in order to do the right thing and voice our concern, this type of resolution will help do that.
I agree.
So I believe, based on what I understand from the county, they intend to come back and do another study. So that's already in the works, but I just think this is an added, letting them know we have a concern.
I think it's important that maybe they don't come back on a Saturday or Sunday. I think it'd be wise to do it during school day, okay?
During schools.
That's right. Because that's something that they'd probably pull on us.
Likewise, we want them to do it when school's in session, not June, next June.
Right, right.
MEA.
Any other questions on the resolution? The timing, we have no idea when it would happen then.
I heard potentially mid-October, but
All right, since there's no other questions, it's a roll call vote.
Ms. Dudley,
Aye.
Mr. Lorenz.
Aye.
Mr. Harbers,
Aye.
Mr. Bloom.
Aye.
Mr. Schneider.
Aye.
Mr. Schaefer.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. 5.7, consideration of the proposed 2022 levy.
so maybe just to give you a little update, because based on what we had for the operations committee, we actually were close to a 10% reduction. And of course, the next day, the numbers changed again. So currently where we're estimating the levy would see is a 4.13 reduction. Again, this is early. There probably still will be some adjustments. That's why, as a board, we recommend levying the max. We don't levy a number, so.
Okay, do I have a motion?
I would move we levy the max.
Okay, a motion by Brad. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Joel. Any discussion?
I think it's important people know that we'll finalize this in December, so just because we did this doesn't tie us into anything. We just can't go over whatever that is, so.
Correct. Okay, any other questions? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Next item is 5.8, approve to utilize the cooperative's lease levy.
So based on the cooperative with the special education programs, there's been some changes. I think it's the last 3 years, the district has not used lease levy to pay that portion of our portion or the district's for those special education programs. In this program right now, then we could, because of the reduction, put the lease levy in. The actual amount is roughly $42,000, so it's up almost, well, it was about 25 to 30. I can't remember the exact number last year, so it's up some. Anyway, that's up for consideration. It was discussed at the operations committee, and I'm just throwing it out there. If you don't want to utilize the lease levy, we'd be at the 4+% decrease, at least at this point. If you utilize the lease levy, it'll probably get closer to 4%.
John, did your figure change? I guess on our operations meeting, we were estimating 32,000.
Yeah, it's up slightly. The number changed from the meeting I was at last Thursday.
Okay. We have a motion to approve to utilize the cooperative's lease levy.
So move, Steve.
Okay, motion by Steve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, second by Joel.
Is this different from the lease levy that we utilize to build the ALC, or is it the same kind of thing?
It's the same levy. It's under the same thing. Currently, we use the lease levy for minimal stuff. One's hockey arena for the ice time. There's one other thing I believe in there we use the lease levy for. But this one, we have not utilized. We've paid it out of general fund.
I kind of struggle using lease levy after we paid off that with the last referendum, although for $40,000 or so, that's a little bit different than the 12 million. So I do struggle with that just a little bit, because we asked our voters to help pay it off with the last referendum, and that's all I'll say at this point. I got to think about this a second.
I'm sure.
So John, with the 42,000 of the lease levy, it would say that for a year and it'd be readdressed next year. Would we have to come back and revote then?
Correct. You can choose each year to either put it on lease levy or not.
Okay, so every year you'd have to come back to the board and
Correct.
revote on this. So this would be for next year.
Correct.
So what's the advantage of going lease levy?
Well, you're spending money off the lease levy. It frees up general fund dollars. So general fund dollars are not restricted, where lease levy are a restricted dollar figure.
So we'll spend the money either way. It's just,
Yeah,
Oh,
you'll
it's
spend the
levied.
money, but
it's just how it's levied.
you're freeing up general fund dollars that way.
I guess I took the opportunity to add up the previous 4 years outside of this unaudited year, and we had a fund balance of $18,325,000 and change. I think this is really kind of a poor deal to ask to get another $42,000 from the public via lease levy. To me, it's kind of petty that we do that after what we did, and we just, to be honest with you, just with the intermediate school, we overbonded and overtaxed taxpayers roughly $2.5 million on that project. And we have the adequate funds to just cover it under general fund. I will not be supporting lease levy.
Okay, any other questions?
So if we don't vote for this automatically goes to general fund then?
Correct.
Okay.
Which again, that's your choice either way. I'm just bringing it up because it is an option that you have as a board.
You know roughly where we're sitting right now with our general fund?
Yeah, the general fund at the end of this year will be slightly over 18 million,
So that's the number you were,
Mike was
Yeah.
referring to.
Yeah, that was the fund balance surplus the last 4 years,
okay.
prior to this unaudited year. I don't know what that is.
Okay, any other questions for John?
Yeah, I mean, I really don't have any strong feelings either way. I mean, if, you know, it isn't going to change anything as far as what we offer, so.
I think we do have a motion and a second on the table, so I think we'll go ahead and vote if there's no other questions. So all those in favor then of using lease levy for this special ed programming signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay, those opposed, same sign.
Aye.
3-3, motion
3-3.
fails.
3-3, motion fails.
Motion fails.
On a tie, motion fails, okay.
Okay.
Okay, motion fails. All right, moving on then, 5.9, approve to set the truth in taxation hearing. Dave, you want to address that? That's just a,
This would be set for the regular December board meeting on December 20th, and I think we can do it at any time after 6 o'clock, so we can just do it right at 6 and prior to the board meeting, and then we don't have to stop the board meeting,
board meeting now is at 6:15.
now that we're at 6:15.
Okay, do I have a motion to set the truth and taxation hearing on December 20th, 2022 at 6?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, we have a motion by
At
Brad,
6 o'clock PM.
6 o'clock, okay?
Second.
And second by Joel. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. The next item is 5.10, approve the fund balance transfers. John, I'm going to send that to you.
I got to find my sheet here.
Right, this was discussed at operations.
Correct. So it was a conversation. It would be moving the committed fund balance of $2.5 million to the assigned fund balance, and then also from the unassigned fund balance, $3.5 million to the assigned fund balance. And the committed dollars were those dollars that were in that committed at the intermediate project, and we're at the tail end of paying our bills, so we want to move it out of those committed.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the fund balance transfers?
I so move.
Okay, motion by Joel,
Second.
second by Brad. Any discussion?
Do we have to determine what they're assigned for, or can we,
The assigned, no, at this point.
okay.
They're assigned to projects, that's what's there. So currently, what's defined as the projects would be the chiller and air handlers, the district office, and community ad. But again, there will be other projects as well.
Okay, any other questions for John? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. The next item is 5.11, the approval of 2 student-teacher agreements, one with the University of Minnesota and the other with America College.
I so move the approval of the student-teacher agreements.
Okay, motion by Mike. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Joel. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Okay, the next item then is the superintendent's report.
Yeah, I just wanted to give you a quick update on the online application. So the state, and I called, has made some changes to their process. They have the required meetings, which includes 6 required meetings, that if you're doing an application, you have to do that. And at that point in time, which was news to us, and we just found out here last week, that they will not look at any application until June 1. Which, again, this is a whole new process. I'm trying to get some answers of why all of a sudden the change and why you, if we submit it in January, why you wouldn't review it and give feedback and then either approve or deny at that point. But if they don't look at them till June 1, that potentially means that you may not get approval until August, which means you're probably not starting a new online program. So I have some concerns, and I need to get some answers, and I need to meet with some of these people from MDE regarding this whole provider piece. Dakota Lawrence, or Mr. Lawrence, has been working on the application and trying to get things organized and put together, so we'll see what happens here.
How does that work, John, with the meetings, the 6 meetings or whatever? How does that work within that?
So the first meeting's coming up next week, and then there's basically one just about every month. There's a big gap from November until February, but it's kind of one meeting, and it's, they call it a cohort-based program development plan. So I'm extremely frustrated that all of a sudden they've changed the process. And one of my questions is, why the change? Do you have authority? Where do you get the authority from? I want some answers, so I'll be asking the questions when I actually get a hold of a real person up there.
Okay, anything else on the superintendent's report?
Everybody knows that I have very little faith in the brainiacs that we put up there in St. Paul in the first place, so I don't see this going any further than this speed check will go. I think they're doing things they want to do, and they're just gonna not give us the benefit of the doubt in anything. So I guess that's what we put up there in St. Paul. That's what we're going to get. Have zero faith in them.
Okay, thanks, Brad. Moving on to the instructional committee report. Adam?
Everything's been covered.
Okay, nothing there. Operations committee report, that's Mike.
I think we pretty much covered everything. We did discuss about a little bit, and it was in the minutes, about putting something together for the demo of West. That's approaching, so.
All right, demo of West. Any other reports? Okay, other business? Future business? If there are not any, it's meeting adjourned.